Hello everybody, this is Bruce Astle from GC Railfan again. Today, this video you may see, just hear me out, this is not going to be probably as joyous and as positive as the rest of my videos are on my channel. Recently, I'm going to touch on this because I think something needs to be said. I'm going to stand up for free speech and I'm going to say my bit, and I'm probably going to say a lot of things that other people, want to say, but then because they might lose connections with vital people. Yeah, basically it has come to my attention quite widely, as well as many other people in the train simming community, that certain developers are starting to get quite twitchy, are starting to get quite awkward, and are starting to be quite rude to some of their customers. I also believe that some of them are trying to quell our opinions on things when we don't always mean it in an offensive way. I believe a lot of the time opinions should be a good thing. Developers should use opinions and criticisms in a positive way to help make things better overall for themselves and for the enjoyment of others. But however, it seems that some developers have taken quite a dim view on free speech and such opinions and such like-mindedness. As you can see, we are on the Great Central Route, which is a freeway route by SSS. This will form a point later on in the video. I have placed down a variety of stock in front of us. Namely, we've got two Michael Whiteley products, which are the J50-4 and the Austerity from the Mardy Colliery pack. We have got Digital Traction's 4MT here as well, and we have also got the compulsory RSC Black 5. Over here we have got something rather interesting. I do apologise, didn't mean to zoom into a hedge, but anyway. Over on the left with its wagons we have got a Class 20 which was developed by Just Trains. I do have the Armstrong Powerhouse enhancement pack on this, however I shall not be driving, so therefore the sales are not applicable to this video. On the right side, now in the centre of the video, is the IHH Class 20. This will also form part of the video. Now, if you are not keen on hearing my opinions, if you are not keen on wanting me to try and be as balanced as possible, within reason, then I advise you don't watch this video. On the other hand, I would like as many people to watch this video and keep an open mind. I'll be entirely grateful for this, as will many people within the community. Let's get started. Right, as we can see in front of us, we have got four different products from three different developers. Now, Michael Whiteley is basically the main developer for Mesh Tools. Mesh Tools have made many great add-ons, as have Digital Traction, who did the 4MT in the middle. RSC have had that same Black 5 since the first Railworks, basically Rail Simulator, from years back. That model has got to be somewhere in it's got to be about 5 years old now, at least. That model has not really changed any significant way, yet we are still using it, yet we are still paying for it. If we look at the Austerity and the J50, which I reviewed only the other day, I hold these models in high regard. There is a high level of detail on them. There is, a lot of playability in these things. Look at the detail. It's nice and crisp. It's a functional loco. The cab detail is great. The physics are great. It is as realistic as we can get right this moment in time in history. Same with the J50-4. The J50-4, best thing we can get. Same as Train Simulator 2014. This is the best we have at the moment. So some criticisms I'm going to have to keep a quell on, or be careful about, because this is what we've got. We've got to live with it. But look at these two. They're fantastic. Nothing wrong with them. Even the drivers are animated. He even has a beer belly as well, I've noticed. But look at it. Look at them. They're pieces of art. They are absolutely wonderful. They are functional. People love them. And it brings a whole realm of realness to the whole situation around us. Look at the route also. This is a freeware route by Steam Sound Supreme. They do payware as well. They are quite a small firm. Not a lot of people have heard of them. But kudos to them. Look at this route. It is fantastic. Apart from the missing texture in the sky, which should be the sun, but that's a problem at my end. But you know, this is using a lot of freeware assets from UKTS as well, and it looks really good. Compare this to the likes of some routes that have been included with the simulator, and it can give them a run for their money, I think, especially in sorry, I do apologise, especially in the creativity area. Don't know why I struggle getting that word out, but anyway.
Bruce.
Yeah.
You know the sky?
Yes.
It's because you haven't got the WCML route, I think. You have to get one of the payware routes for the sky to work.
Well, that's all right then. That's a minor issue. I'll get that. Well, I need that route anyway, so it's not a problem. But like I said, minor issue. I'm going to ignore it. But like I said, it's at my end. I'm just going to quickly show you this Digital Traction 4MT. It's not going to be the best of shots because I'm a bit hemmed in between locos. But look at the detail. Look at the motion. It's nice and clean. It is, you know, it's nice and clean cut. The detail is there. You can see through under the boiler. You can see every little detail on this engine. You can see the Power Class 4 symbol on the side of the cab, for goodness sake. You know, it's brilliant if you look all around it. You know, there's a plate on the back with the details, which I don't think has actually been done on this occasion. But, you know, the fact is it's there. It's got a nice look about it. Then we've got the RSC, you know, Black 5. We've had this for years. You know, I mean, compared to many of the offerings by other developers, I think it looked, you know, I'm going to be brutally honest, I think it looks crap, actually. We do need a Black 5, for obvious reasons. One of the most common locomotives on the British Railway network, you know, especially in history. But I think it's crap, to be honest.
It's just too glossy and
Yeah,
shiny.
exact. Well, I've got a slightly weathered version, so I might have a Western Lines of Scotland version. But even so, I mean, it's still using, you know, the same default Black 5. But you know, it's just a case of why. You know, why aren't developers listening to us more? If we say we want more detail and more experience, that is what we want. You know, we're not asking for miracles. This is just our feedback and opinions. Yet some people are getting slated for it. In fact, RSC cleared their part of the Steam forums only last week because obviously some people had upset them quite significantly with their requests and some of their opinions. If they are going to keep doing that, that is basically them censoring us. That is basically them saying, well, we're going to make what we want. You know, we don't want your feedback. That's basically defeating the object of having a community to talk about these issues. It really defeats the object. Now, I'm going to quickly zoom over to the diesels, and I'm going to make an even bigger point. Now, I'm going to directly name this developer, and that's Iron Horse House. If you watch this, Mr. Gobder, I don't care. If you don't like what I say, I do not care. I'm not going to endorse your products anymore. Yes, I have done a tutorial on your DMUs, and I have linked to your website. I don't mind that. That video will stay there for the information and education of others. But in terms of me buying your products in the future, that is it. And I'll explain why. Right, we're going to look at the models as we speak now. The model on the left is the JT Class 20. The one on the right, which I'm now zooming into, is the IHH one. So let me just position the camera a little bit further down, and I'll just get the angle correct. There are some very stark differences straight away. I can already tell you that the IHH one has got the incorrect profile. It has got completely the incorrect profile. The buffer beams are incorrect. The position of the sockets is incorrect. And yes, I can nitpick all day if I really want to, and I might nitpick a little bit. I know that's sad, but it is just something, and it is just an opinion and a point of view. If anyone doesn't like that, then tough. I'm sorry, but a lot of people are thinking the same as me, and I'm going to stand up and make my stand and say it. On the left, we have the JT Class 20. Look at it. There's a driver in the cab. We've got the head code discs. Look at the texture. Let's zoom in a bit. Look at the texture. Very nice. Very clean cut. The pipes are nicely detailed. The Blue Star coupling code is there. It's got a slight tinge of weathering to it, like a worked engine. It's not too heavy, but it's not ex-works. The colours are very rich. They are very, you know, they're quite realistic. Let's just go up and zoom. Look at the roof detail on the JT one. It's brilliant. You know, the fanny's in proportion. All the seals there. All the doorknobs. Let me zoom in right in. Look at the doorknobs. They actually, I don't know how well it will render this bit, you can see the door handles sticking out from the engine side panel. You can't get any better than that, in my opinion. Look at the grills. Heavily detailed. Look raised. It feels 3D just looking at it. Likewise with the cab door. Likewise with the window. You know, look at the exhaust port. Exact proper distance apart. All the hinges are there. All the rivets are there. The fanny's the correct diameter. It has a ridge around it. It's got all the little transfers and stickers on. And to boot, this thing actually came with extra stock. It came with RHTT wagons, clean and dirty versions, and it came with nuclear flasks as well. You know, I mean, you can't get any better than this. The JT pack came with this stock. It came with 10 livery varieties for the Class 20, along with 12 scenarios. And that was all for the sum of £19.99. It is still available on their website. Absolute bargain. Nothing wrong with it at all. You get your value for money from it. Now, compared to the piece of shit on the right, which I'm going to be brutally honest, it looks terrible. You know, it sticks out far too much at the cab end. If I go round to the front, when the damn keyboard works, you know, if I just get down a bit, please excuse the camera movement. I haven't got an Xbox controller, and neither would I want to. But look at it. I mean, it tapers out kind of too much at the bottom compared to the JT one. You know, if we look at the JT one, it looks like it's tapered down correctly to the correct profile. The head coat discs are all there. They look all realistic. And this is supposed to be the same livery option, which is yellow panel. That's completely different on the IHH version. You know, the textures look pants, really. I'll give him kudos for trying to do the rust effect, I will admit. But apart from that, I mean, it looks mottled. It looks speckly. Certain detail does stand out, but it's just at the incorrect proportions. You know, this add-on in itself comes with 9 livery varieties for the Class 20. So the IHH one comes with 9 livery varieties. The JT one comes with 10. But guess what the IHH one doesn't come with? Scenarios or extra rolling stock. And it's £11.99 plus VAT. As some of you may know, a certain producer has been actually quite in a lot of trouble recently with a certain agency over asking a price plus VAT on his website. I pretty much hope he rectifies this soon, or else he'll probably have a very nasty knock at his door, because people will keep complaining.
He doesn't even say what the price will be with the VAT.
Exactly. That is what the problem is, essentially. But it's £11.99 for a loco that's disproportionate, looks crap, and it sounds crap. In fact, if you check out 28JH's video, I'll try and link it in the description for you. I was starred in it, so I was helping him review it. But if you look in the video, you know, even he thought that he would take the JT one over the IHH one any day of the week. You know, I mean, it's absolutely mental. I also want to pick up on the fact that IHH and RSC are absolute gits for not listening to people at all, throwing their toys out the pram and completely having a go or just blocking people for the sake of it. Mr. Gobder, RSC, please feel free to block me from your pages if you so wish. I really could not give a flying toss. I will still review. I will still try and promote your products as much as possible, even if I don't agree with your viewpoints, because it is the best we have right now. And that is what we've got to live with. We are trying to, you know, several people are trying to develop new things, or new things are in the pipeline, from what I know. But, you know, they're just ideas on the sketchboard at the minute as such. But this is best we've got. I am not saying I will not endorse RSC's products, because I'll still endorse them. Like I said, it's the best we've got. We've got to. But I can't believe it. I mean, IHH has thrown out the pram, actually, today. He's thrown all his toys out the pram again. Someone made a statement, like an opinion about things on a photo of his. IHH did a photo, well, like a, that's it, screenshots, my apologies. Did a screenshot of all his engines and rolling stuff, you know, basically lined up together in a shot, and it looked quite nice actually, I will admit. Which is the only good thing about it. Someone just came in and was like, you know, just slightly critiquing some of his work, and he went absolutely berserk at them. In fact, one of my friends has been on there, just made a statement, you know, stood up for free speech and an opinion, and he threw his toys out the pram. Get over it and grow the hell up. If you're supposed to be a grown man, then God help you. For Christ's sake, I'm 21 and I'm talking more sense than you. In fact, I think I could probably do a better job than you if I had enough time and money to do these things. But, you know, I can't believe it. It's like media censorship. It becomes a case of, why do we bother? Why should we bother engaging? In fact, why should we even bother purchasing some of these products? I am all for supporting and buying the products from developers who give their time to customers, who listen to their customers, who are willing to have feedback from their customers, who provide excellent add-ons, who provide, you know, the care and support you need if you ever run into any problems. Examples: Digital Traction, Just Trains, Steam Sound Supreme, Mesh Tools. You know, those guys I can't fault. I dare say there are others out there. Even some freeware developers are really good in terms of their care, even if their models might not be to the same standard as, you know, a proper payware developer. They still have that care there. You know, I'm just going to zoom over back to this RSC thing. RSC, what are you playing at? You know, I'm not going to get too upset with you. The only reason I'm upset is we can't seem to have an opinion or, you know, contribute to your community without you getting butthurt over it. You know, we are only trying to suggest things to help make the game better for everyone. If you don't want to make the thing better for everyone, then why do you bother? Why should we bother paying for your products if you're not going to listen to us, if you're not going to support us in the right way? I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Now, because of the situation with IHH, I'm not going to buy any more of his products anymore. In fact, I have already looked up torrents, and I'll be perfectly truthful to you, you can pretty much get every single piece of IHH kit from a torrent. Because there are people out there who think the stuff is that shite that, you know, it's not even worth paying for. And to be honest, I can't but not agree with them. Even if the products weren't shite, the customer care is absolutely, you know, horrendously terrible. The fact that the developer is having a bite, even slagging off customers and potential customers, is enough for me to say he is not professional. Even though he reckons he is professional, he is not professional at all, whatsoever. He is just like a Mardy school kid kicking his toys out the pram just because someone, you know, beat him at a game of cards sort of thing. That's basically all it's about. It's absolutely mental. I just cannot understand it. I really cannot. You know, like I said, if you people don't like what I've just said, then I do apologise, you know, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's just my opinion and my thoughts. There are a lot of people who are thinking these sort of things, but someone needs to say it, and I've got the bollocks to say it. I mean, the scenery detail on this SSS route, it's alright. I like it. This is freeware. I've paid for this route, actually, but anyway. You know, look at the carriages, right? This is an RSC carriage. Been in the game since Rail Simulator days, in 2 default colours. Southern region green and BR blue and grey. I'm not being funny, is someone at RSC colourblind? There are more than 2 colours on every, you know, type of Mark 1 going in history, pretty much. You know, I mean, I'm going to compare, look at the detail. It looks flat. You know, the textures are old now. You know, we can see the stripe. There's like a bit of a pixelation smudginess around those lines. There's some raised detail. The underframes detail could be better. The roof detail, it looks pixelated on the roof. You know, I've got a DT Mark 1 over here. Well, a Digital Traction now stroke AP Armstrong Powerhouse Mark 1 of the same type, a first open. Let's zoom right in. So we've got a little less pixelation on the roof, but it's more grey, it's more uniform. This could be the settings on my computer, to be perfectly fair with you. Look at it, raised door handles. The numbers are crisp. The lining looks better. The window transfers are as good as you can possibly get, really, to an extent. It would take forever to really own it straight in, like, you know, get it perfect, spot on, and you'd be there forever. But it looks more clean cut. The detail on the bogies is a lot better. The underframe looks a lot more detailed. It looks a lot more realistic. And the noises it makes when it goes over track joints is fantastic. They even come with guards whistles, for God's sake. You know, that's what I call the product. That's what I call the developer, who I care about, who I actually want to support. These are the guys we should be supporting. It's about time we made a stand against developers like IHH and RSC and turned around and said, look, you're not going to listen to us, we're not going to buy your products. Because the only way, you know, being the way they are and trying to be money-grabbing gits who just wants money and don't think about anything else, you know, we are the people, we are the power, we can change that. People like RSC are only still developing stuff in such a magnitude that they do because there are still people out there who will buy their stuff. Really, is it really that good? I mean, there is now a tactic given out by RSC, by the look of it, that they're developing the same stuff as other people. They recently just announced the West Somerset Railway. There was a little-known developer, who, and this is how small they are. I've actually forgotten the name of them. I do apologise, but you know, they were planning on doing a freeware version of the WSR, I think.
In fact, there is one out there, I think.
I think there is one out there. Is it TAA Development or something? I can't remember. But, you know, that route, I'll take that route over the RSC one any day of the week. It's like the Great Eastern Main Line. RSC released it with a Class 360 unit. You know, that was the only rolling stock with a whole route and about 9-10 scenarios. Is that it? Really? That is ridiculous. The amount of people had to pay for that route, and you only got one stinking EMU with the damn thing. Which only, you know, that was what you were driving. That was all the AI traffic that fucking was. It's stupid. Now they're developing a Class 321, which Armstrong Powerhouse are doing. And it is not that two projects are completely separate, but I'll take APs over RSCs any day of the week. You know, that they're copying everything else. It is absolutely mental. They're making duplicates. They're just money grabbing gits. They'll only disappoint you. You know, buy the game by all means. Or, you know, if you don't believe in the ethics of the company which I've revealed, then, you know, do your own thing. I'm not saying I advocate torrenting, but, you know, if you feel that it's not worth paying for, then do it. It's going to be the only way to stop RSC being the way they are. Same with IHH. It's absolutely bloody mental. We are the people, we are the power, we can stop it. So,
well, I think it's one thing, isn't it, making like freeware products and saying that you're above criticism, but it's another thing making payware products that people pay with their hard-earned cash, and then when they criticise the product because they don't like it, you can't just go, you can't say that because, you know, they've paid for it.
exactly. You know, I mean, if you've paid for it, you should be entitled to say what you want. People are only giving them feedback at the end of the day, and if they can't accept that, then sorry, but so shit.
Yeah. What gets me is it's not even malicious. It's just, you know,
it's friendly. It's
this is
constructive
great,
feedback. It is meant as
yeah.
constructive, but it just gets misconstrued every time. Every time it just gets misconstrued, and it is getting to the point where it is absolutely bloody ridiculous. You know,
I mean,
I am a YouTube reviewer. I have done beta testing for certain add-ons which will be released in the future. And also, you know, I'm doing my own thing with a freeware route that I wish to release myself as a freeware mod, which I will do in due course. Does that mean I'm not going to take criticism, you know, harshly? I mean, you know, I'm going to listen to people. If people say, no, that's wrong, we suggest you do this, I'll try it, and I'll see how it works, and I will get back to them. I will endeavour to do my best. Why can't people do that? You know, I won't even be charging money. I'm all for the smaller developers. You know, these guys have actually got brains and have actually got the intelligence to listen to people and not blank them out. Perhaps RSC and perhaps IHH and other certain developers who follow in their tracks should listen to this advice, should also observe how these other developers work and see if they can't pick up any useful, advice or tips along the way. At the end of the day, RSC are into this big arse community thing. Why don't they act like a communal neighbour instead of being that horrid bloody Nazi that lives next door to you, who's going to ignore you all your life?
I mean, there's that thing that point you made about maturity. I think it's too true because, even at college, at school, you've given feedback all the time and you have to deal with that. And now, these people, they're developers of the game, they're adults in their own right, and they won't take any feedback whatsoever.
No, they won't. I mean, it's like we used to be at school. We used to get an essay, and if the essay basically said in polite terms, this essay is fucking crap, we had to deal with that. We could not stand up and say, I'm not happy with this, I'm storming out the class, I'm throwing my toys out the pram. We could not do that. Those guys we're talking men up to their 40s and 50s in age, probably older in the case of IHH. I have no idea how old he is. Forgive me, IHH, if for me trying to say you're a fossil. But anyway, not that you're going to forgive me anyway, but either way, it's ridiculous. These are grown men. I feel more mature than them at the moment. I'm 21. In fact, I'm going to reveal something. I am 21. I have an autistic spectrum disorder. Technically, my brain is a couple of years behind itself at the moment. Mentally, I'm about 19, not 21. By the time I'm 30, my brain would have caught up with things. But even I can see that, that these men and women, or whatever they are not behaving in an appropriate way. They're not treating in an appropriate way. And that's why, from now on, I am not actually going to, I'm going to do my best to not support RSC and not support IHH. I'm going to boycott them as much as possible. Yes, I will still use the RSC simulator and some RSC products in my reviews. Yes, I know people may say that is a hypocritical comment. And yes, it is actually. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to review and inform people about decent gear. I am trying to give my valuable feedback to developers, which is what I did with the J50, is what I did with the DT compound. Has anyone thrown their toys out the pram from those companies? No. In fact, I hope they've seen those videos and I hope they enjoyed them, actually. In fact, literally, I think it was about 24 hours after the DT compound was released, they're already working on a patch to smooth out the small issues that we had found between all of us developers on YouTube, including Problem Productions, including myself, GT Railfan, and among others. When that's the case, and then something is done about it, that's even better. But, that's all I've got to say on the matter. I mean, have you got anything else to say, mate?
Oh god, I could go on and on and on, but I think you've covered it all. That's fine.
Well, fair enough then. But one more time, like I said to people, if you've stuck around this long to listen to me drivel, to be honest, I will be brutally honest. If you don't share my viewpoint and you really don't like it and you're going to get upset yourself and leave me a ranting comments about it, then you shouldn't really be subscribed to my YouTube, if I'm honest with you. But for those people who understand, for those people who keep an open mind, and I will keep an open mind with other people, with their opinions, if they do come to me, I will keep that, keep an open mind. I have done when I've read through comments on the IHH page. I've not responded, I've not retaliated, but I had to make this video. I had to say it. There are enough people on and in the rail simulator communities around us that will agree with me. And it's about time someone stood up and took the flak for it. I'm going to stand up and take the flak for it. Because I've got the bollocks to. But anyway, I'm going to leave off here. In more